Nothing like a cup of coffee in the morning. The original energy drink. Nothing really like it. Nice hot cup of coffee in a cool morning. Not even a warm morning. Or a stifling 98-degree morning in southern Mississippi. Of course, it'd be nice if it was, cold. But then, you pour the hot coffee and ice, and the ice melts, and you get a watered down cup of coffee. That's not really very good. Really making a cup of coffee and filling up pot with water, and waiting, to grinds. Or, I don't know, making an espresso. It's, it's alright, but sometimes in the morning when, you're a little groggy-eyed and the baby's crying, it'd be nice to be able to just kind of pull your coffee out of the fridge and you're good to go. Either cold, throw it on some ice with some milk, or, if you need a hot cup of coffee, nuke it. Throw it in the microwave. Nothing wrong with that. It's great to have it ready to go. I personally like a little coffee with some chicory in it. I don't even know what that is, but it tastes pretty good. If you can find that in your area, it's pretty local, I think, to the deep south, but look for it. It's not a bad idea. Cold brew coffee. That's how I do it. Every day, keep a bunch of coffee in the fridge, ready to go. Have a cup whenever I'd like it. It's real easy. Get yourself a nice container with a top. Funnel. 1 part coffee grounds. It'd be best to have whole beans, grind them yourself, fresher, but not everyone's got all the time for that, so. Plus I go through enough coffee where getting it pre-ground is just fine. So, 1 part of coffee, 4 parts water. I'd use a better measuring pot cup than this. We'll add some extra for spillage. Slap your lid back on. Give it a good shake. And it's time for the fridge. Now, store this in here for 3 hours, overnight, a couple days, doesn't really matter. After a couple hours, it's going to be fully steeped and it's not going to be able to really go any far. And it's not hot, so it's not burning like a pot of coffee on the burner would. Luckily, I've got one that's already made. Alright, coffee out of the fridge. Hardware. 1 large bowl, 1 strainer. The bowl must be large enough, of course, to fit all of the coffee. Now we just need a very fine strainer, like a tea cloth or a cheesecloth. Okay, don't have one of those clean. Let's see, well, what do we got laying around here? Yep. Alright. I'll admit, clean t-shirt. That's what we're gonna use. It's clean. Doesn't bother me. Throw it in the bowl. Or your tea towel. Strainer on top. Uncover your new cold brewed elixir and dump it all into the bowl. Alright, shake the excess in, discard your used grounds, and now we're going to take our clean t-shirt, not so clean anymore, pull it up by the corners, and then working our way down from the top, get every little bit out into the bowl. Shake it off, clean up your mess. Now we're good to go. You may want to grab a funnel for transferring it into a storage pitcher. Ours is a pretty large mouth, so we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to go ahead and dump it right in. Watching out for that last drop there. Well, that's a tough one. Now, if you must have a hot cup of coffee, I understand. Even during the summer, a hot cup of coffee still is pretty good. Now, throw it in the microwave, nuke it for a minute, maybe a minute and a half if it's coming right out of the fridge. You have a nice hot cup of coffee. Now, this is pretty strong stuff when it steeps overnight in the cold brew process. So I recommend throwing a little milk in there, or even just a little water if you don't like milk. I personally choose the unsweetened soy milk. It's very delicious. And it's not very bitter, and I don't ever use sugar because I just don't think it needs to. It's got a nice strong coffee flavor, but not very bitter. Now this is gonna, if you're a 2 cup of coffee drinker, this could save you between $4 and $10 a day, and over a year, well, that's a lot of savings. So enjoy the coffee.